The Yamawa forest is a forest of threading tools. From that deep and vast forest, we will be presenting how to use roll taps as our theme this time. Whether you have watched us before, or this is your first time, you are welcome to join us. So let's get started. A roll tap is a tool that forms internal threads by screwing into a bored hole, pushing material into the valley and up minor diameter, creating the thread flanks. First, let's introduce Yamawa's roll tap series. There are two main material categories, for steel and for non-ferrous materials. The N+RZ and NRZ roll taps for tapping steel has oxide surface treatment to prevent welding. Nitriding treatment, the surface treatment of roll taps for non-ferrous N+RS and NRS, is effective in enhancing abrasion resistance and welding prevention. We also offer a lineup of other roll taps as shown here. For more information, please refer to the Yamawa General Catalog or our video library. The class of the roll tap shows the pitch diameter of the tap. For example, G5 on a tap label is the tap's class of fit. Further details are explained below. We adopt roll tap's class of fit in accordance with ANSI GH class of fit. The tolerance of a tap pitch diameter is 12.7 micrometer and is set on a staircase chart. The way the threads are formed depends on the type of work material and the bored hole size. For this reason, we have 2 to 3 classes of roll taps to obtain the optimum internal thread dimensions. The diameter of the bored hole is also important, as the thread form height varies depending on the bored hole size. Let's explain in detail. Here is a picture of an internal thread produced by a roll tap. Let's compare it to a thread cut by a cutting tap. As you can see, the thread crest is rolled up due to plastic deformation. Here are 3 different internal threads shown side by side. Number 1 has a small hole size, so the internal thread is formed too high. Number 2 has the correct hole size, so the internal thread is properly formed to the correct height. Number 3 has a hole size too large, so the internal thread is not formed high enough. The formed up part becomes a minor diameter of the internal thread. This affects the thread engagement ratio, which is important for fitting. The thread engagement ratio is the actual engagement height expressed as a percentage of the standard engagement height. The internal thread shape and engagement ratio vary depending on the bored hole size. In addition, you can find the recommended bored hole size in the technical section of Yamawa product catalog on our website. Please select the best hole size for your application. Yamawa also offers a check pin to easily check the bored hole size. Next, we will explain the chamfer. The chamfer of roll taps is marked with P and B for standard lengths. The P stands for plug tap, and the chamfer length is 4 pitches or threads. It is generally used for through holes. B stands for bottoming tap, and the chamfer length is 2 pitches or threads and is generally used for blind holes. Yamawa roll taps that have a 4 pitches chamfer for M6 or smaller have an external center. The B type with a 2 pitches chamfer for M6 and smaller has the external center, which is cut off. Next, let's look at tapping conditions. Yamawa's roll taps are classified into two types, for non-ferrous materials and for steel materials. You can use the roll taps suitable for non-ferrous materials at low to high speeds. For tapping steels, we recommend to using roll taps at low to medium speed range. Let's try using roll taps. The work material is S50C. The size is M6 by 1 through hole and tapping length is 12 mm. You can select the HP Plus RZ based on the Yamawa product system chart in the Yamawa General Catalog. From the list of taps, select the recommended class for G7 and Type P with a chamfer length of 4 pitches. For blind holes, select Type B. Also check the tapping speed. Now select the bored hole size from the bored hole size chart before tapping. Machine the hole with a drill or reamer. Chamfer the entrance of the hole larger than the OD of the tap to avoid burrs. As you can see, the tapping length is 19.5 millimeters. Tapping speed is 15 meters per minute. After tapping, check the pitch diameter with a no-go thread plug gauge and the minor diameter with a check pin. If the internal threads are not formed high enough, make the bored hole smaller. If the internal threads are formed too high, make the bored hole larger. That's it for now. We have explained how to use roll taps. How was it? You can also watch What is a Roll Tap to help you better understand the roll tapping process. Look for more how to use videos in the future. Please stay tuned.